Sorry, Helen's a bit shorter than me. Before we start as well, I just wanted to mention that Gloria Murray from the Castle Milk Time Bank was meant to be amongst our speakers, but she couldn't make it today. She has left us some information about the Castle Milk Time Bank, which is up either on your seats or up over by the drinks. So if you want to have a read about what that project is, it's really fascinating, and it's a shame she couldn't be here. So just a note to Gloria. So I'm going to start now. Hello, I'm Abigale Wilson, and I work with TAKTAL. As Helen said, we produce this series of Pecha Kucha talks here in the Whiskey Bond. So the theme, Making Economy, has relevance to our current research and upcoming projects. During my presentation, I want to quickly run through some of our research and introduce Test Unit, our art design and architecture summer school. So the title, Making Economy, it expands into two themes. The maker's economy, which bases the provision, production, and reuse of materials at the center of a system of value exchange. So these resource-based economies thrive off the principle of zero waste and circular systems, so that no materials are lost along the way. So in the first half of the talks, I've kind of themed it so that projects that are working with this style of the maker's economy are being represented. The other interpretation of the title, Making Economy, describes the act of literally making an economy through the production of local currencies and cooperative structures. So we're going to hear from the People's Bank of Govan Hill. Castle Milk Time Bank is one of those as well, and the Stove Network is working with cooperative structures too. So as an agency and as a company, as a team, why is TAKTAL interested in in researching these projects? These alternatives have the opportunity to work towards a future of a bottom-up society in which communities are self-sufficient, resources are shared, and people are empowered to both educate and be educated. As demonstrated by the presenters here today, quite often it's artists and small grassroots community groups that are at the forefront of alternative movements. I want to run through, alongside the people here speaking today, I also want to run through some of a few other key projects that have influenced our research. The first here is Danish-based studio called Superflex. They set up a copy shop, which is a shop and an information forum investigating the phenomena of copying in order to challenge the capitalist doctrine of intellectual copyright. So in the shop, they made modified originals, improved copies, and political anti-brands. Their provocative products challenge the current economy by openly discussing the control of value in exactly the same places where it is produced and distributed in the market. So here's some examples of some of the stuff that they've made. They're a really interesting studio. The other quite influential project that we've been looking at is the Barefoot College. So the Barefoot College is a project started in rural India that nurtures and supports local knowledge through peer-to-peer education. It's a unique project in that it is aimed at women, training them as solar engineers, innovators and educators who then return to their villages to bring their learning back to their families and communities. I think Wevolution is fairly similar. Local currencies are very influential as well. So the Brixton pound is a really good example of this. It's quite a well-known example. Alongside other UK-based alternative currencies like the Bristol pound, the Brixton pound is designed to support and encourage local trade and production. It's actually a complementary currency, so it works alongside sterling for use by independent local shops and traders, and it has quite a significant presence in the heart of the Brixton market. This is one of the cash machines where you can actually purchase your own money. So, as Helen mentioned as well, I'm going to talk a little bit about our work. Test Unit is a way in which we are exploring this research. It's an annual summer school, an art design and architecture summer school in which participants are challenged to bring ideas into action by rapidly prototyping solutions to top-down urban regeneration. So last year, Test Unit looked at a vacant outdoor site just along the canal, just down there. Participants, they ended up building, some of the prototypes that they made were like a miniature tavern, a zoetrope, and a series of abstract interventions into the space. This year, we're going to be based in this building, which is similarly just along the canal. It's called Civic House, and it's an old print factory located alongside the entrance to the canal path. So we're seeing this building as a key gateway site to the canal area that connects it to the city centre via the MA underpass. So this year, the school is broken down into 6 units: responsive lighting, the urban bothy, spatial occupation, facades, the eventful city, and the one that's most relevant to this series of talks is Unit 6, it's building collaborative economies. So this unit, building collaborative economies, will be led by artist Valentina Kaga, whose practice is focused on the investigation of alternative economies and renewable energy. One of the projects that drew us to her is one of her ongoing projects called the Market for Immaterial Value, and it's an investigation of creating, validating, and disseminating art in the era of immaterial value. She's also led her own summer school, the Summer School for Applied Autonomy, in which students were taught how to live within a completely zero-waste society using biogas, aquaponics, and photovoltaic systems. So this unit will also be supplemented by our own research into the local area, mapping local resources and skills from the wealth of cultural organisations and community groups that are located around the canal. It's a shameless plug, I'm afraid. If you're interested in applying to this summer school, the applications are now open. Especially if you've been drawn here today to think about alternative economies, the unit that I've been talking about would be particularly relevant to you. If you can't make the summer school dates, then we also have a public symposium, which will be on the 23rd to the 24th of June. We're going to invite lots of people to come and talk about what we've been discussing throughout test unit and also the wider kind of concepts around urban regeneration. Thank you very much. I will sit down.